वेलकम टू टुडेज क्लास। आज का हमारा टॉपिक है डबल फर्टिलाइजेशन। डबल फर्टिलाइजेशन इज कॉम्प्लेक्स मैकेनिज्म इन फ्लावरिंग प्लांट्स. फ्लावरिंग प्लांट्स मीन्स एंजियोस्पर्मिक प्लांट्स and it was discovered by Navas-Chin in the liliaceous plants like Lilium and Fritillaria. तो हम डबल फर्टिलाइजेशन को डायग्राम की हेल्प से डिस्कस करेंगे। यहाँ पर ये जो दिस इज द स्टिग्मा एंड दिस इज स्टाइल, दिस इज स्टाइल एंड this is ovary, this is ovary, and inside the ovary ovule is present. So this is embryo sac of ovule and this is nucellus. Inside the embryo sac this is egg. These are two synergid cells. This is secondary nucleus. These are antipodals and see this is inner integument and this is outer integument. This is outer integument. This is outer integument and this is stalk of ovule, that is funiculus, and funiculus continue in the ovule. So this part is called as rape. So this is anatropous ovule. When pollen grains deposited on the stigma, if these are pollen grains which are deposited on stigma, so this pollen grain after deposition on stigma, this is stigma, so this is stigma, this is style. So after deposition of pollen grain germinate and so this is pollen tube comes out through the germ pore of pollen grain. This pollen tube enter into the ovule through stigma, style, and then it enter in the ovule. See, this is pollen tube. Pollen tube. Generally, pollen tube enter in the ovule through micropyle. Through micropyle. So see, pollen tube enter into the ovule through this is micropyle. So the double fertilization. When pollen grains deposited on the stigma, pollen grains germinate. This pollen tube formation takes place and this pollen tube pierces stigma and style and pollen tube enter in the ovary. This is ovary. Pollen tube enter in the ovary through stigma, style, and then pollen tube enter in the ovule through micropyle. So this opening is called as micropyle. Sometimes pollen tube enter in the ovule through chalaza. So if pollen tube enter in the ovule through this chalaza, then it is called as chalazogamy. And if pollen tube enter into the ovule through integument, it is called as mesogamy. But if pollen tube enter in the ovule through this micropyle, it is called as porogamy. So first event is porogamy. First event, that is porogamy. Porogamy means pollen tube enter in the ovule through micropyle. This is called as porogamy. Then this pollen tube pierces this tissue, it is called as nucellus. So it penetrates nucellar tissue, and then pollen tube enter in the embryo sac. So this is embryo sac, and see this group of 3 cells towards chalazha is called as antipodals. So these 3 cells are called as antipodals. These are antipodals. Pollen tube enter in the embryo sac through one of the synergid. This is egg, that is female gamete. So this is female gamete or egg, and beside this egg 2 cells are there. These 2 cells are called as synergid. So this is one synergid and this is another synergid. So see, this is tip of pollen tube. So when tip of pollen tube touches one of the synergid, it absorbs moisture, watery content of synergid. Pollen tube, when tip of the pollen tube touches one of the synergid, it absorbs watery content of the synergid, and then this tip of the pollen tube ruptures and releases the content, including 2 non-motile male gametes. So when this tip of pollen tube touches this synergid, this pollen tube absorb watery content of the synergid, and then this pollen tube rupture, it breaks up and it releases 2 male gametes inside the embryo sac. So this structure is called as embryo sac or female gametophyte. So out of these 2 male gametes which are released by pollen tube, one male gamete fuses with egg and another male gamete fuses with this secondary nucleus. So second terminology is siphonogamy. Second terminology is siphonogamy. So first is porogamy, second is siphonogamy. Siphonogamy means a non-motile male gametes are carried through hollow pollen tube. It is called as siphonogamy. Non-motile male gametes are carried through hollow pollen tube. Hollow pollen tube, and it is called as siphonogamy. It is known as siphonogamy. So this is second point. First event of the double fertilization is porogamy, and second event is siphonogamy. So this is siphonogamy. See. So when tip of pollen tube rupture, it releases 2 male gametes. Out of these 2 male gametes, one male gamete fuses with egg. So this is egg. See, this is egg. This is egg. So egg is haploid, and see, this is one male gamete which is fuses with egg. So this is male gamete. What is this? This is male gamete. Male gamete. So male gamete is also haploid. Another male gamete fuses with secondary nucleus. This is secondary nucleus. So this is secondary nucleus. It is called as secondary nucleus. Secondary nucleus, and this is another male gamete. Another means male gamete. So this is our diagram. This cell is called as synergid. This is synergid. This cell is called as synergid. There are two synergids, and this opening through which pollen tube enter inside the ovule, this is called as micropyle. So this is micropyle, and this is ovule. What is this? This is ovule, and this is pollen tube. This is pollen tube. So this is diagram of double fertilization. Diagram of double fertilization. So we will discuss it. Double fertilization. So see, so this part is important. So I expose this part only. So first event of double fertilization is syngamy or first fertilization. Syngamy is also called as syngamy or first fertilization. Syngamy or first fertilization. Syngamy or first fertilization means fusion of male gamete, which is haploid, and female gamete that is egg, which is also haploid, to form diploid zygote. So if this is egg or female gamete, and this is male gamete. So fusion of egg and male gamete takes place here, and this is called as syngamy or first fertilization. So this is male gamete. It is haploid, means chromosomes are not in pairs. Chromosomes are single, like this. And another, this is male gamete. So male gamete is also haploid. In the male gamete, these are chromosomes. So this is egg or female gamete, and this is male gamete. It is haploid. It is also haploid, means chromosomes are singly. Chromosomes present singly, means there is no pairing of chromosome. So fusion of male gamete and female gamete takes place to form single cell by the fusion of these two gametes, and this cell which is formed after the fusion of male gamete and female gamete is called as zygote. It is called as zygote, and zygote is diploid. So in the zygote, this chromosome form pair with this chromosome, and this chromosome form pair with this chromosome. This chromosome form pair with this chromosome, and this chromosome form pair with this chromosome. So in the zygote, chromosomes are present in pairs. Hence zygote is diploid. and from zygote embryo will be developed. From zygote embryo will be developed. So this is called as syngamy or first fertilization. So this is the third event of fertilization. First is porogamy, second is siphonogamy, third is syngamy or first fertilization, and fourth one is triple fusion. So syngamy and triple fusion. Fourth one is triple fusion. So triple fusion. Triple fusion is also called as second fertilization. It is also called as second fertilization. So see in the diagram, this is secondary nucleus and this is male gamete. So fusion of secondary nucleus and male gamete, second male gamete is called as triple fusion. So fusion of secondary nucleus, secondary nucleus is diploid because it is formed by fusion of two haploid polar nuclei. So fusion of secondary nucleus and second male gamete male gamete is haploid to form triploid endosperm nucleus, that is triploid endosperm nucleus is called as triploid primary endosperm nucleus. Triploid primary endosperm nucleus is called triple fusion. So this is secondary nucleus. This is secondary nucleus. Secondary nucleus is diploid, means chromosomes are present in pair. When this secondary nucleus fuses with second male gamete, means another male gamete, one male gamete fuses with egg and this is second male gamete. This is haploid because chromosomes are not in pairs. This is secondary nucleus which is diploid and this is male gamete. This is male gamete. Male gamete is haploid, and here fusion of secondary nucleus and male gamete takes place and it will result into single cell, formation of single cell C, and this single cell, see the chromosomes of the single cell pairing, means these two chromosomes of secondary nucleus and this one chromosome of this male gamete, like this. Then these two chromosomes in this way. In each set, 3 chromosomes are present in this cell, and this cell, which is formed after the fusion of secondary nucleus and male gamete, diploid secondary nucleus and haploid male gamete, is called as primary. It is called as primary endosperm. It is called as primary endosperm nucleus. That is PEN, primary endosperm nucleus, and it is triploid because in single set 3 chromosomes are present, so it is triploid. And then this primary, after division, mitosis division takes place in the primary endosperm nucleus, and primary endosperm nucleus form endosperm tissue, which is nutritive endosperm tissue, and this endosperm tissue nourishes this embryo. So syngamy is a type of generative fertilization and triple fusion is a type of vegetative fertilization. So these 2 points are very important. Syngamy is generative fertilization is a type of generative fertilization. It is a type of generative fertilization. It is a type of generative fertilization, and triple fusion is a type of vegetative fertilization. It is type of vegetative fertilization. It is a type of vegetative fertilization. So this is called as double fertilization. Here both the male gametes participates in fertilization, and therefore it is described as double fertilization. So it is called as double fertilization because in this fertilization both the male gametes participate in fertilization and hence it is called double fertilization. इसलिए इसे क्या बोला जाता है? डबल fertilization. So in this way we have completed this chapter, double fertilization. So see, we will revise the things. When pollen grains deposited on the stigma, it germinates, pollen tube comes out, this pollen tube penetrates stigma, then this pollen tube enter in the ovary through style, then pollen tube enter in the ovule through micropyle, and this is called as sporogamy. Then pollen tube penetrate this nucellular tissue and then enter into the embryo sac through one of the synergid. Pore tip of the pollen tube absorb water content of the synergid and it pollen tube bursts and releases 2 male gametes. One male gamete fuses with egg and another male gamete fuses with secondary nucleus. So both the male gametes participate and hence it is called as double fertilization.